All right, parents, you may be wondering, hey, this Common Ground Youth Ministry sounds interesting. I'd love to bring my child, but what does it really look like? And so here's what Wednesday night looks like typically. So normally at 6:30 we begin our main session. Before our main session starts, I typically try to get our kids some food. They're teenagers, they're hungry. Oftentimes they're coming from practice or from some other extracurricular activity on Wednesdays to get here on time for church. So we have pizza or chicken nuggets or Taco Bell, just something that helps them get through the hour that they're here and not be starving to death and focus a little bit better. So you can get them here a little bit early. We have food taken care of. Also, they like to hang out with their friends a little bit beforehand. They play ping pong and just hang out before the session ever even begins. It's really good to see them fellowshipping during that time. And we too, as volunteers and leaders, get to hang out with them and get to know a little bit more about them and what's been going on throughout their day and their week. So once our main session starts, we have a time of worship and we have a game. Sometimes the game goes with the lessons. Sometimes we just have a game and just have a bunch of fun before we get started. But our worship is always intentional, and we love for that to be a part of their lives each and every week and every session. Once that's over, we are changing it up just slightly this year. We are going to send our high school kids out of the theater into small group time. So our high school kids are going to get a preview of the lesson. They're going to talk through some parts of the lesson before we ever do it as a whole group. So they will go into small group and do that with our volunteer leaders, and our middle school group is going to get the main lesson for the night at that point. Then we're going to make a switch and rotate, and so the high school group will come in and we'll talk through the main lesson as more of a discussion this year than just like one person stand up teaching, because they're going to have some idea of what's going to be talked about that night. And then our middle school, they get to dig a little bit deeper. So they go to small group and dig into the lesson rather than getting kind of a preview of it. So it also allows us to focus a little bit more intentionally on our middle school kids and a little bit more intentionally on our high school kids and where they're at their age level during our Bible study time. And then lastly, we try to wrap it up with, sometimes we do an activity, sometimes we do cards, sometimes we just have some more fun or play another game, and then we go home around 7:30. So, and obviously we too do try to encourage our leaders to end in some type of prayer with the kids about whatever they're going through or whatever they have going on the rest of the week. And that's usually what Wednesday nights look like. Sometimes we have special events, whether it be game nights or worship nights, nights where we come in and there's stations. There's always those types of things, but typically it's laid out in the form I just discussed. So if you have any other questions about what we do, what we teach, then feel free to ask. Just send me an email, call me, and I'd be happy to discuss it with you. Thanks.